They are flying our colors enthusiastically at Nagano's Sarita Elementary School, where Canada has been adopted as a sister country during the Olympic Games. From maple syrup to Canada's breathtaking nature, Sarita has embraced our land. Even an introduction to hockey equipment triggers squeals of delight. Fitting, since hockey was the initial link which forged this budding relationship.
Our school is the most nearest school from Big Hat. Big Hat is the ice hockey venue. Hockey is Canada. So we selected Canada.
A box of letters has just arrived from pen pals at their sister school in Calgary, personalizing this newly formed bond between countries. After admiring their Canadian friends' work, it's time to reply.
Hello, my friend. Thank you for letter. We write back soon.
The One School, One Country program has opened Japan's doorway to the rest of the world a little bit wider. It's fostered school spirit, Olympic spirit, and it's raised the spirits of this Canadian a long way from home. The icing on the cake at the end of an unforgettable day for newlyweds Yuki and Hiroyuki Nakazawa, celebrating the final wedding prior to the Olympics at this sparkling venue in downtown Nagano, a specialty house for the perfect wedding. The Mel Park Hotel is truly a one-stop wedding shop. Like these couples, Yuki and Hiroyuki came here about a year ago to make their wedding arrangements and shop for their costumes. Every aspect of the wedding is looked after here, from engagement gifts to the honeymoon, handled by the in-house travel agency. Clad in traditional Shinto dress, Yuki enters the elaborate shrine within the hotel. The solemn service has a familiar ring to it, but without a kiss for the bride. A photo studio adjoins the shrine to preserve the moment. Then Yuki retreats to the salon to continue a day more suited for a fashion model than a bride. At the reception, she appears with an elegant kimono, valued at $20,000, but rented for this occasion. Soon another trip to the salon to let her hair down and change into a bright cocktail party dress. Yuki is serenaded back into the celebration by the groom, singing karaoke in typical Japanese style. After dinner, it's another change. Yuki is now on the runway wearing a traditional Western wedding gown, the current rage. It's the day they'd always dreamed of, as they always are, at the Mel Park Hotel. It is a ritual nearly as old as Japan itself. The communal bath is an integral part of Japanese culture, a custom fueled by thousands of thermal springs bubbling up from this volcanic archipelago. Often the bathhouse is one of the most ornate buildings in town. Its water's inviting, with the promise of cleansing body and soul. Baths are located on busy urban streets or in secluded mountain retreats. The outdoor hot springs, or onsen, are extremely popular year-round. They're a way to reconnect with nature, That's never more true than at a remote spring about an hour north of Nagano, 2 kilometers through this bush, a spring that serves an exclusive clientele. 2 troops of Japanese snow monkeys have claimed this hot spring and seem to ape the human pleasures of the experience. Here 3 generations gather for a family soak. It's a place to heal wounds, cure ailments, wash away troubles. Some hope this is the key to eternal youth. Others just unwind after a tough day. For 30 years, Mr. Harrop has studied these monkeys. He's enjoyed the benefits of thermal baths even longer.
When we bathe, the waters warm our bodies and calm our spirits. When we share this experience by bathing together, we open our hearts to those around us and generate peace.
Centuries ago, wild animals first led man to the thermal hot springs. Today they share the pleasures of this Japanese tradition. Nagano High School has an envied reputation for high academic standards. After an intense day, students have plenty of pent-up energy. But even a star athlete like Masaki Yukiiri must complete cleanup duties before heading to the gym. After class, the schoolyard is a beehive of sports activities, sports we're familiar with, like baseball, soccer, and tennis. But Masaki is the captain of a sports team steeped in over 1,000 years of Japanese tradition, the martial art of Kendo. Translated, Kendo is the way of the sword, a discipline training mind and body. After warm-up, Masaki dons the traditional armor of the samurai. It may look like Darth Vader's space-age gear, but Kendo is a sport which connects Masaki to Japan's ancient past.
One of the things that I like best about Kendo is the fact that it is an old Japanese art form. I believe that we as young people have a responsibility to think about the traditions of this country, and this is the way that I include tradition in my daily life.
In competition, points are awarded for successful strikes to the well-protected head, throat, body, and hands. It is Japanese fencing with a wide range of footwork, attack, and defensive postures. Always respectful of his opponent, Masaki wields his bamboo shinai deftly. Masaki Yukiiri, a young samurai, master of an ancient martial art. Nestled in the mountains outside Nagano is the historic town of Matsushiro. Its architecture dates back over 300 years. Wall-lined streets guarding samurai homes, a pastoral setting with, until recently, a dark secret. Burrowed into the hillside is a labyrinth of tunnels over 10 kilometers long, constructed in preparation for a final land battle in 1945. 7,000 Korean prisoners of war labored here, some of their crude tools still embedded in the rock. Their cries of despair marking the site where many perished. The caves were ignored and virtually forgotten for 40 years, until a local high school class uncovered the site while doing research into the Second World War. Although they faced initial opposition from the government, they persisted and succeeded in having the caves reopened as a reminder of the ills of war and as a memorial to peace. High school students continue their research of the Matsushiro caves, uncovering more history, underscoring the hidden message within.
Young people of Japan have never had any contact with war, and in the interests of never allowing war to happen again, we come to this site to learn and to work for peace.
Intended for the emperor and Japanese army, the shelter was never used, but many were killed in the hurried construction. A memorial is also a symbol that Japanese youth have learned from the mistakes of their forefathers. The private homes of Nagano. Too costly for many. The average price close to $500,000 for 1,000 square feet. A steep price tag is not the only common denominator in the design and construction of these local residences. As the saying goes in Canada, a man's home is his castle. In Japan, they might suggest a man's home is his temple, because this traditional building design has influenced Japanese architecture for centuries, and it continues even today. Homes of all sizes have an entranceway or gankan for replacing shoes with slippers. At the heart of the home is the main living room, a table for dining, sliding partitions for privacy. The alcove or tokonoma displays a typical decorative scroll. No, there isn't a bed in the bedroom. Futons are rolled up each morning off tatami floors. Rice paper screens or shoji diffuse incoming sunlight. Central heating is a foreign concept here. Kerosene heaters take away the chill and boil morning tea. Little has changed in the design of Japanese homes over the years, but not because architects like Masakazu Mitsukashi aren't creative.
Japanese people are still not accustomed to modern building materials in the construction of their homes. Things like glass are not as effective as shoji, which filter incoming light. A nice wood floor is never as comfortable to sit on as tatami. Traditional materials help to create a living space which, to us, is far and away more comfortable.
A personal temple within the home is traditional, but not inexpensive. This model is $200,000, the price of a house in Canada. But after all, in Japan, a man's home is his temple.